Hello, I'm sitting here with my brother um, Carlos Cowles from Florida, and we're going to talk about guilt and shame, and overcoming guilt and shame. I'm Baruti Carl Alexander, a 32-year teacher, and this show is Minded Our Mental Wellness. This is our 20th episode of this. So we've been doing this a while, Brother Carlos. Um, I was doing this before I joined the group. And, I just thought it was such a good marriage. I probably was on my 12th show even before I started enjoying the group. But mental health is a main uh, part of my life. I've had so much experience with it and so many things I've gone through. Let me give Brother Nihan, he didn't see this. This is September 8th. Well, let me get yours. I sent. One second. We're going to start again. I want to make sure I get a brother this. I thought I had already given it to him. I'm going to stop this and we're going to start again. Hey, this is Baruti Carl Alexander, and this is Minding Our Mental Wellness. I have two powerful brothers that we're going to discuss guilt, overcoming guilt and shame. Everybody has gone through this, and we are going to discuss it. Um, I was sharing with the brother earlier, a lot of guilt and shame that we have in the Black community is dealing with the female. I had so many instances where I felt ashamed of myself. I felt ashamed, and I didn't think I was worthy enough to talk to this girl because I wasn't confident enough in myself. And is she gonna like me, or is she gonna laugh at me? Is she gonna, girls can sometimes, especially young girls, when you're in high school or something like that, they can be cruel. So I had that experience. And I would say all the way up to about 40 years old, I had elements of that. I had elements where I was uncomfortable around ladies and so forth. But what happened to help me overcome that? I started a podcast, one thing. I was always a writer. So I combined my writing ability with my speaking ability. Now, before I could speak, but I get in front of a crowd or in front of a girl and I get tongue tied and very nervous. And, I start stuttering, and I don't stutter. I start stuttering and talking bad. But once I became a podcaster, and this became my life to be able to talk and be able to express myself, my vocabulary and everything started coming together. As well as once I got older, I didn't care whether somebody liked it or not because I liked it. That's the number one thing. Tell me about your experience, Krishna.
I have a similar experience because when I was in high school, like I had my like I was always social. I played basketball, but like when it came to someone I like, I was kind of shy. Like I recall back in eighth grade or it was seventh grade, and a girl liked me. I was just focused on basketball, and all the girls was chasing me in there in the gym. And then like when I got to high school in 10th grade, like I was a writer. Like I remember scripting one time, and it took a while for me to build that communication muscle. Because one time I was on the phone, and it was scripted at least once.
When you
And
when you say scripted, you mean you wrote down what you was gonna say.
Yeah, it didn't match up in real time to like what we were talking about. Like it was a fail.
I still do that. When I have something that I want to make sure I
Oh yeah.
express, I still write it down today.
Oh yeah.
But the difference is I can go off script. I
Yeah, I was
can
reading
go
it.
in off script.
I was
So,
reading it. It sounded robotic.
huh?
I was reading it and it sounded robotic over the phone. Like we had those. I think it was a telephone or something we had back then.
It reminds me of the movie where you see somebody somebody is trying to express to a woman and they got somebody in their ear trying to talk to them, tell them what you seen that before, right? You seen
uh,
that? I mean, this all happens all the time in a comedy movie,
yeah.
where you have the guy who's trying to talk to the girl, but he's nervous or what have you, and then he got somebody in his ear telling him what to say. Carlos, what's your experience been?
Well, I'll share that. Yeah, that growing up though, like I was rejected by the girls or was not. So I did have some rough experience to where one girl said nobody want to go out with you because you're ugly and all that and stuff. So I got used to being roasted, and of course I went through this joke though to where a guy would be like, "Oh, so and so like you though," and of course I knew she didn't though. So she definitely let me know that she didn't like me though. So I had that joke played on me though in elementary school, middle school, even in college it was not. And in college was the worst though, because he was like, "Hey, I don't want to go with this ugly dude," or things, like that though. Like when I look back at it though, it was harsh though, but now I get just, now I get just laugh or was not in a way. But I won't deny the fact that, that it did hurt or was not. And lately, I learned though that I have limiting beliefs about myself in terms of being able to be with a woman though is because I'm used to being rejected, used to being called ugly or was not, and it created this belief, and it definitely created a belief that hey, maybe I'm not good enough or not good looking enough, don't got the money or status. And of course, though, I'm used to thinking that, well, why bother shooting my shot though? I'm just gonna get shot down, or I'm just gonna get chosen for the thug or the tough guy. No offense to no one though, but I got so used to being chosen over Pookie or Ray Ray, as the cool kids would say. Or better yet, though, I can put it in this term though. Like I got so used to being chosen over the guy that seems to be more attractive or tougher though that I thought, well, shoot, maybe I don't have a shot or what's not. But as I got older though, it it's about like shifting your perspective and shifting like you or what's not, because it took me years to learn that I'm not gonna be attracted to every woman, but that's okay. There is a woman that's gonna is gonna find me attractive, but I gotta work on myself. And even now, at 40 though, it's like, well, like before I can give myself a chance to be with a woman, I gotta curb some these limiting, beliefs of what's not. And in order to curb some those beliefs, guess what I gotta do? I gotta take steps to boost my confidence. And it can start as simple as getting a haircut, hitting the gym, eating better though, like use the skills that I got or what's not. And there's definitely limiting beliefs though, because I do have like epilepsy. And of course, I've been through it though. I had one girl that I thought she didn't want me though, because I still stayed with my mom, and of course, I can't, drive though because of epilepsy or what's not. But instead of being cursed on by epilepsy, I started to think, how can I flip the script and be more attractive? I really be thinking about that. Hey, can I be stronger in other areas? Can I take Uber or what's not? Get a self-driving car though. It's all about shifting your perspective in terms of curb stomping limiting beliefs. Because I believe that a lot of us as guys struggle with that though. Like myself, the guys here, a lot of us had struggled with those beliefs and had to find a way to curb stomp those beliefs. Whatever best works for us as fellas.
Uh, you said a lot there. You both know that it's one fourth or four times more ladies than there are guys that are available. We know that, and a lot of times they are just as nervous. Maybe not with their friends, but when they get alone, they just as nervous themselves. They won't tell you that. They won't tell you a lot of things, but they are. And so as you figured out, confidence is a major factor. Because if you can exude that, that helps a whole lot. Now, of course, some of them think from carnal standpoint, status standpoint. We know that also, and that's just the way it is. We got to bring more to the table. They could just exist and find somebody, but that's the way it goes. What else? Other experiences have you had, Krishna?
So podcasting, communication. I took a communication course, and like over the time, like from that time in 2007 when I was like 16, because I was early on. A lot of people they struggle with communication. So like talking to friends that build my communication, my vocal muscle, and then over time, like because music was my thing, basketball was my thing, and writing. Wait, hold on.
Understood. Um, Guilt and shame, we all go through that. But see, we think our guilt and shame is worse than the next person. It's not. In my 63 years, I I have found that everybody goes through that. It's just the way that you manage it, the way that you hold it, fake it, or however you want to say it. But guilt, what I do, I don't have as much guilt today. Now, there was many times. One thing I do is if I felt I did something to somebody, I try to make sure I go and say, hey, were you offended by this? I'm sorry I did that. I don't hold it in. I don't hold it in. And I never really did. I would try to. Now, the only reason I might hold it in is because I was shy and scared. But today, I don't have that kind of emotion. Uh, Shame, I have had that emotion, because I used to smoke weed a lot and, walk around, have to walk around people. And I didn't want to be around them because you might smell all of those things. And you oftentimes can't have enough um, cologne or anything. So shame, I got better at that because I got to the point where I just, all you could do is do the best you could do. And once you do that, I don't have any shame. Once I say, okay, I done took my shower, I done put on fresh mints, brushed my teeth very good, uh, made sure I had on cologne, and then I don't have any shame in myself, whether they like it or not. I don't allow that. But there were a lot of times before that, before the age of 45, where yes, I had shame because people didn't like me. So I tried to find ways to have them like me. But now I don't worry about that. And you'll find that that is much more powerful. I'm not saying be a mean person. What I'm saying is like yourself and be strong within yourself and say, I'm okay. And if they don't like it, it must be something wrong with them and move on. Have you had any instances like that where somebody just didn't like your presence? And how did you handle it? Both of y'all. Krishna first. They didn't like your presence.
Oh, they didn't like my presence. I felt like that one time on my birthday when I was with some Christian friends. Like I never really knew them that well, but like I felt like at the table at the restaurant, like it was my first time meeting them. But I had contacted someone and they wanted to eat out for my birthday. They wanted to help me celebrate and for like a moment, but they had prayed for me at the end, like outside and stuff. Like they had prayed and because I had asked for prayer and it just felt more comfortable after the prayer. But
Let me ask this.
sometimes,
Let me ask this. Um, you have told me, shared with me that you have a disability. Do you have any feelings? Were you concerned about how people feel around you with a disability?
oh, when I mention it, nobody really knows. Cause like nobody really knows, but it's like a stigma around it. So nobody knows
Do you
about
have a
it.
stigma?
Huh?
Do you have a stigma
Do I have a stigma around?
around what you thinking people are feeling or how you feel about yourself because
Oh,
of
Sometimes I have isolation, I feel like, because of shame. Yeah. I rarely have guilt. I know guilt is probably better, like if there was a decision between the two.
Yeah, I can understand that. Same question, Carlos. Have you had instances where you felt people didn't want to be around you, or you didn't want to be around them because you felt you weren't worthy?
Oh, yes, sir. I had a number of, I had a number of experiences though, because I'll use UWF though, for example, because I was going up to a guy that I saw though at El Salbre, where it was a class where you can learn like salsa dancing and styles similar to that. And wow, when I think about it, I went just to say what's up because hey, I'm a really friendly guy. If I saw you, I'm gonna say hey, what's up, how you doing? Hey, just being, friendly. I wasn't being disrespectful. I wasn't cussing at nobody. But but him and the whole group gave me the silent treatment. I will never forget that. And I was stunned a little bit. I was like, I have no idea how come they're giving me the silent treatment or things, like that. So with that one, I was just left, like to figure that out. And of course, all I could do was walk away though and be like, well, if you don't want to talk to me, I know I can't make it. So all I could do is just, walk away. But when I thought about it, it does make you question, like, like your value though, especially when you don't have no idea how come they don't want to talk to you, or maybe it is possible that they don't like me for some, reason. Not trying to make it racial, but it's possible. Is it because of my appearance? Is it because of how I carry myself? Is it my spirit or, something like that? But you want to be real careful with that though, considering that if it's a group that you do want to be accepted by, you gotta, be careful about trying to fit in because if I try to fit in, that could cause me to be somebody that I'm not, which is a route I don't want to, go. But it took me time to accept the fact that if someone don't want to talk to you though, you can't, make them. If they don't want to be in your presence though, that's okay though. Like all I can do is just be, like cool about it or whatnot. And thank you, Lord, because the thing that helps me though, and speaking from a biblical perspective, is that of course you gotta love the person and hate the sin. But I gotta understand something, which took me years to understand. Cause with that group with UWA, for example, like, and we all do respect, but my ultimate value doesn't come from them. It comes from God, and my ultimate value don't come from them though, just because they don't, accept me or what's not. Even though, hey, I'm being nice, I'm, being cool or what's not. But the worst thing I can
Was
do
there a
is let
time
them.
when you really were that really hurt your feelings, that you really felt bad because they didn't like you? Was there a
I'm not
time?
gonna lie though. Yes, I definitely, felt bad though, because hey, it's normal to feel bad when you're like rejected, or even with El Sobre though. Like this one tall young lady though didn't want to dance with me for some, reason or whatnot. She said, like no. Of course, it did hurt though, but of course, I had to respect the fact that she didn't, like, want to. But of course, hey, I learned that hey, my ultimate failure doesn't come from her though. It comes from like the Lord of what's not. And if I'm trying to fit in with her or with that group, when you try to fit in, you let them determine your value. Like it's best not to fit in because when you try to fit in, you let them determine your worth. But when you don't fit in with them, though, you take your power back. And I'm not even saying you have to be, mean to them though, or tell them to go somewhere or what's not.
Yeah.
Like you just gotta make sure you don't give them power over you by trying to, you know, fit in. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I totally know what you mean. Basically, you're saying you have power, and unless you give it to somebody, you maintain the power. And that goes back to that old song, "Learning to Love Ourselves." And that's a big thing. If we can do that, then that empowers us to love ourselves. Krishna, what do you feel is the difference between guilt and shame as far as the definition? What you think is the difference?
Guilt, well, let's see. Guilt is like I've done something bad. It's like the behavior, and you can still make amends with it. Like once you, but shame is like identity and like being ashamed. It's like I was researching this stuff. Like I think shame is like worse because guilt you can actually make amends and like okay I made this mistake. Let me move on better with this. But shame like it can you can be to yourself. You can a person can be like isolation. Not it can stunt your growth too. With with talking to others and stuff.
Do you can you have guilt for something you did not do yourself? For instance, you're supposed to go walking to lose weight, but you didn't go walking, or you're supposed to do something. I want to say pay some money back to somebody else, but I'm more so talking about can you have guilt for something that you did not do? Internal guilt, in other words, you can, can't you? You know what I'm talking about in
I
that?
remember one time, like I got a story. So like one time, um, like when I was younger, like they say I put my foot in the wall and like I put a hole in it. I don't even remember that, and like I just admitted to it, and I guess I was guilt. It was guilt from that because like I said that I did it, like because I was pressured to say that,
And
and
you
my
really
family.
hadn't done it, but you said you did.
Yeah, I was young,
Oh
so
yes,
I was
that's
young, so I was like I was pressured to like so. Right now, I wouldn't. Somebody like no.
yeah.
So
I'm
like I
sure
was
that's
powered.
big
I was
guilt.
overpowered. I was overpowered to say it. So
Yeah, somebody wanted you to admit that you did it and you didn't do it. That's a big time guilt because you're gonna
yeah,
think about
because
that.
it was adults in the situation. Because like it's like at home, like, and I guess a brother or sister. That's like a long. It's like I was maybe like 7 or something. So like, and then like, yeah, it's my parent. So my mom. So
Very much so.
it was hard to not say like because that was early on. Yeah.
Same standpoint, Carlos. What is the difference between guilt and shame?
Well, shame is when like if I made a mistake or if I reacted to something badly, though, yeah, I feel, I feel bad about it. I don't like how it made me, feel. I don't like how it made me, like, look or was not. And you'd be like, dang, I could have did better. And when it comes to guilt, though, like it's a deep remorse, though. Like, man, I messed up, and I feel like like an idiot. Like, what can I do to what can I do to make it right or what's not? But with shame, though, you're gonna want to think and flip the script, though. Like next time, I'm gonna do better. Like next time, I'm not gonna embarrass myself or or look crazy, or what's not, or connected it back to the girl in a way like you felt shame about how you be rejected though. And of course I had times where I'll be like, man, I'm gonna step up, flip the script, and I'm gonna show you I'm not a loser.
I think shame has to do with an action or a behavior. For instance, you driving in your car and a black homeless man comes up to you and you lock your windows. You lock your windows and then you think about it. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. You feel a little shame. There's some you did a behavior, so that causes you to have shame because you did a wrong behavior. Whereas guilt, um, not necessarily a behavior, it's more of a feeling that maybe you did to somebody. You can have guilt and shame in that example that I gave you. You
Oh
can
yeah.
have guilt and shame in that both same instance. So they are similar. They have a lot of similarities to them, but they have some differences. Where do we think we learn guilt and shame from? Is it attached to family, religion, subconscious? What is it related to? Where do we learn guilt and shame from? What do you think,
Early,
Krishna?
early on, family, school, religion, friends. It's early on. Community, like just those people that we're around, like it can be passed on. Like we can be corrected at an early age, and it can have a bad
Do
effect.
people try to use the tactic of throwing guilt at you to motivate you to do something?
Say that again, like an example.
I'm gonna give you an example. Okay, my family are Jehovah's Witnesses, so they try to say that because you are not a Jehovah's Witness, this is why this happened. This is why that happened. Because you are not a Jehovah's Witness, uh, you are not as good as us, and so therefore you can't come around at certain times. So they try to throw a certain amount of guilt at you to basically what they want me to do is become a Jehovah's Witness. So they attack me that I'm not by trying to throw guilt at me that this and that and the other. So they try to motivate me by behavior. People do that in many different ways. They try to say, you know, and we learned that as kids. Hey, uh, you're not gonna be my friend no more unless you do this. And so they try to make you feel guilty, or make you say, you are you stink, so I don't want you by me or something. Different things that they try to use for
Yeah,
motivation and use guilt. I know my sister would say, okay, the family is paying $1,000 because of this. If you don't pay it, you're a bad person. So she tries to use guilt and those particular things to motivate me to do something. That's a way people can try to use guilt to try
yeah.
to get their way and motivate you to do something. Carlos, you have a thought on that?
Oh, yes, sir. I would say that it begins with childhood. Considering that your childhood though is connected to almost everything though, like family, like religion, especially if you like grew up in a church or whatnot, and it can all start from childhood when you're taught things though. Ooh, I got a great example, like in childhood, like you can sometimes feel ashamed about yourself though, because like growing up though, like you can feel some kind of way about yourself though, growing up in the music video era though, like if you didn't have like certain things that the rappers did though in the music video, such as like money, cars, and clothes, or what's not. Because I had an experience to where I was hoping my mom would be able to buy like really expensive pants though, because I was influenced by music videos or whatnot. But of course, in the modern day though, you got kids growing up with a childhood to where they may feel some kind of way because of Instagram influencers or whatnot. Like, hey, I gotta be fly though, like the Instagram like influencers. But of course, when I was a kid though, our biggest influence though was artists. We seen in music videos and video, fictions though. Because even as a kid though, I was like, wow, how do I become, fly enough to where I can be with a video fiction someday or something like that? So that could lead to all types of guilt and shame and all types of things from childhood.
Yeah, I want to add,
Go ahead, brother.
yeah, about guilt. So subconsciously, through words, discipline, like when, like, say, parents whipping you and disciplining you, and you feel a certain way. Early on, like you was saying about childhood, early on, it's like we're sponges. Like when we're like younger, like we soak up information, we soak up different things. So like that's certain things are taught when we're younger, and we soak up the most when we're like children.
Sure, we do. We do. They say that we start the world as a tabula rosa, which is means a blank slate. But you also have heard uh, an example of a mother singing to her child in the womb, and that child still remember in their subconscious that song. Same way that they can say positive or negative things, and that can draw a reaction when you get older. So the human mind and the human spirit is very powerful in what it can bring in. Uh, Guilt and shame is a part of our life, but how can we guard ourselves to not let it affect us that much? Today, it does not affect me. Now, I tell you what would affect me. If I don't do something to help, save, benefit my children. If I don't do that, for instance, I'll feel bad if I don't leave them in a better situation than I was. I would feel guilty about that. So when I'm passing away and I haven't done, let's say I haven't bought them a house, I'd feel very bad. I'd have a lot of guilt with me if I'm passing away. And so I'm passing away with guilt inside of me because I haven't accomplished that. So, but that's an internal guilt. That's not something that somebody else brought along. And it can be like that. For instance, if I don't make up with my brothers and sisters before I pass this earth. Right now, we at a what's called an enmity. We can't talk. We can't talk at all. But before I leave this earth, I would like to have a relationship where we have overcome that. So guilt in that instance can affect you in your life and what you are feeling as you go out of here. So it can't carry with you. Shame too is the same thing. So there's so many aspects of it. But overcoming guilt and shame, and you know, you can have a feeling where, hey, I overcame this. This messed with me for a long time. You know, it's like the bully would mess with you, but then you beat the bully up and you say, okay, why did it take me so long to do that? Guilt and shame can be in that same context because you have carried this feeling for a while, but once you finally get past it, once you finally say, I'm not going to let this bother me no more, or I have done something to overcome this, you feel better about it. So this is our 20th episode of Minding Our Mental Wellness, and I appreciate you brothers coming on. I just wanted to talk about it a little bit. We taking this opportunity to just share and get to know each other. Nihan Kristna, is there anything, first of all, am I pronouncing your first name correctly?
Yes, Nihan arrived Krishna.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
like arrived, like Nihan has arrived. Beyond Nihan, peace signs,
All
Nihan.
right, all right. And mine is Baruti Carl Alexander, or my full name is Baruti, African name is Baruti Moyenda Amakishe, given to me by the Shrine of Black Madonna, where I was a missionary. And that means teacher on the journey. God has been merciful to me. And this is my 20th episode now in my other podcast, which I have a sports podcast, which I do with some partners, and we're on number 51 in that. And then a current events podcast, which is at number 178. And I'm going to have my next one on that on Thursday. Share a little bit about your podcast.
For mine?
Yeah.
Yeah, free time, free spill podcast. Free time for your free time leisure and free spill because we're spilling out information and gems of wisdom to empower the listener. So it's based on positivity and diversity.
When
And
and how often do you do it?
it's been a while, so I'm trying to get it back jumping. It's holistic and healing modalities. I interview people, businesses and stuff, and people from around the world.
Are you going to do self-care and journaling often or every Saturday?
I'm trying to keep up some topics and be inspired to, like, maybe at the next one I could talk about like writing a book. Like it's always something in self-care though, opposed to journaling. Like I gotta learn more into it. I'm also into music a lot.
Me and Carlos, we was talking about a book before you came on. I was sharing. I'm on my ninth book, by the way. I got 160 pages. I suspect it'll be 210 when I finally finish it. Uh, it's called the strong. Wait a minute, the strong feelings of a source seeker, something like that. But Source Seeker is a part of it, and then the brighter light. But it has 160 pages. One of the chapters is about mental health, notes on mental health. Another chapter is about relationships. And relationships have a very powerful part to our lives, but the relationship with ourself and who we are as a person, our identity, outside of that female, outside of a partner, that's the most important relationship. It took me a long time to understand that. So, what would be your title of your book, Carlos?
The title of the book is gonna be called Neek Man. It's gonna be a superhero book though, inspired by my own story with being bullied, and I want to mix in like of course my life, my bullying story, and I want to use a number of influences from things that I grew up watching, like Spider Man, X Men, Dragon Ball Z,
Did you ever
and
see Supercell?
uh,
Supercell.
Super.
Did you, Nihan?
Is that is that something with Dragon Ball Z or something?
No, brother. It's done by Rap Man on Netflix. Go look it up. Supercell.
Okay.
Supercell. Supacell. I bet it will blow your mind. It's British guys. You know, British got a ghetto in the hood, right? And so it's black British, but it is bad. So and it throws some different concepts at you and some different things. But that's interesting. So Nick Man, what is Nick Man's powers?
Well, his powers is going to be connected with his disability, like Asperger's or whatnot. It gives him like a copy ability. So he first started copying like animals or whatnot. So he's going to have like a variety of animal abilities, like, insect strength mixed with gorilla strength, having a bite of a crocodile or something like that.
Oh, that sounds interesting. Very interesting. Um, so a chapter might be he gets thrown into the water and a crocodile is about to eat him, but he adapts and envelopes the crocodile, and the crocodile's powers combined with a human maybe, and he has super strength.
Well, something like that. I'll give you a little outline because, like me, though, like he started, being bullied. Then he tried to go after the popular girl, which reject him, and then he has a rivalry with the popular guy because he feels like he has to be like, him or what's not. But along the line, he meets a mentor that takes him to a special place, though, like a special jungle where he trains and harnesses his powers or what's not. And he gets his inspiration though by copying like animals or what's not. But I think later on in the story, he's gonna go from copying animals to be able to copy the abilities of other heroes and villains or what's not. And he's even gonna copy like coding or what's not. So he's gonna create his own little array of superpowers because I want Neat Man to especially stand out from other superheroes who have animal inspired abilities.
I'm a
Okay,
superhero. I got a superhero
what?
story.
Okay, what show out there that you have gotten some ideas from or gave you ideas or something similar that because I can there was a character in Heroes. If you ever saw Heroes, he was able to take on the traits of all the other people with abilities. Also in the show Umbrella Academy, there was a character who could take on the other characters' abilities. So, have you seen any of those shows?
Oh, like I haven't seen like those other shows.
So you haven't
Like,
seen Umbrella Academy or Heroes?
oh no, sir.
Okay.
But I'll just share real quick that some of the ideas I'm getting though are inspired from superhero shows I grew up, such as watching Spider Man and Superman. And there is a show called Teen Titans though, where one of the Titans though name is Beast Boy, and he has a really dope ability. He can change into any animal: a dinosaur, a python, a
I've
rhino,
seen
a
Teen
lion.
Titans.
Yeah,
I've seen that. So
I haven't
yeah,
seen
I
that in a
got
while.
you. Uh, uh, Tell me some of your ideals, Krishna. Besides, are you going to expand upon your podcast? Are you going to write some plays? what are some of the other journaling that you do, or have you done any architecture?
Architecture,
Yeah,
like in journaling, like
in
crafting it.
drawing, any drawing?
Oh yeah, I'm not that deep into drawing, but I used to draw cartoons like Hey Arnold and stuff. All the different cartoons that was like popular. Like I used to like just sketch it. I wouldn't color it, but I'll sketch it. Like Hey Arnold. That's when I was like in the eighth grade. I took an art class. It was a different Garfield, Kim Possible. It was like a lot of cartoons,
One
Dragon
of
Ball
the
Z.
things I would love to do within the group that we are a part of is be able to have these type of conversations and expand upon them with brothers and so forth, and create a safe space, be a part of creating a safe space. Uh, I would love to be a part of that, and hopefully it'll grow to that and so forth. Well, we are toward the end of our uh, conversation. Please make your final statement or share anything you would like to, and I appreciate it, guys. Go ahead, Krishna first.
Yeah, just a little bit that I've been working on. Like I got like a mixtape, Green Vibes. It's like with talking about energy, like the vibes of like the heart chakra green. And I got a book that I put like 300 pages. It's my whole life story from growing up basketball to tearing my ACL to my mental health journey to podcasting and all these creative endeavors like music, podcasting, being an author, being a massage therapy graduate. And I've learned a lot along the ways. I even traveled to the Philippines. I'm a writer by heart. Like that's my skill. Like writing, it brought me to a lot of different things.
Can you give me three music artists that uh, give you inspiration, and you would like, they give you inspiration and you pick up a mood or a spirit from them listening at that song? Three music artists.
Oh, I gotta have some time. Like Tupac, KRS-One. He's still living. KRS-One.
Yeah.
I like his work more so his work. Um, but Kendrick Lamar, it's so many artists. It's so many artists. Even myself, like I'm inspired daily from nature too.
You've listened to Bob Marley before, right?
Oh yes, I love Bob Marley.
Okay. I was thinking of that. I'm also thinking of the Blackbirds. I don't know if you've ever heard of them.
Blackbirds.
Blackbirds. They got a song called Walking in Rhythm, and a number of other songs that sound in that particular way. Also, the Whispers and the Spinners.
I haven't heard. I have to listen to that.
You haven't heard of the Spinners and the Whispers?
No, I've listened to a lot of hip
Oh,
hop. I listen to a lot of hip hop and punk rock.
well, I listen to. I'm well versed in Tupac.
Oldies
Well,
too. Oldies.
huh?
Oldies like the Temptations, the OJs.
Well, Temptations, OJ's, Spinners, and the Whispers are right along that line.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Listen at the Spinners. You never heard Mighty Love before?
I might have. I'm not sure. I haven't dug deep into like Motown and all those oldie songs.
Okay. Well, look up the Blackbirds, the Whispers, and the Spinners. The
Okay.
Whispers have a song called, um, of course, they got a song called Just the Beat Goes On, but that's not the one. Just Gets Better with Time is the one I like. It's called Just Gets Better with Time.
The
Uh,
Whispers, the Blackbirds, and
no, the Blackbirds is Walking in Rhythm, and
cool.
the Whispers is Just Gets Better with Time. The Spinners is Mighty Love. Of course, they got a whole bunch of songs, not just those, but I'm just throwing some that you can connect with and then find the other ones.
Okay. I listen to catalogs. I love music. That's my like I listen to that the most in movies and all the other stuff, books.
I got you. Music is a culture. It's a mindset. It's a spirit. It's a mood. It's all of those things. And
Soul,
you
energy.
know, even without the words, the music itself can be soothing. Even without words, it can be soothing. You know, I got married when I got married to um, the instrumental version of "I'll Be There," which was very good by Najee. I don't know if you've ever heard that, but the instrumental of version of "I'll Be There" is a super great version and song. Um,
Music reminds me of podcasting. You
huh?
the music reminds me of podcasting. I had a thought about I'll be there. Is that Michael Jackson?
Yes, that's Michael Jackson. That's the original. You know, he's the original. He didn't write it, but he's the first one that sang it.
Well,
Yeah.
music is like podcasting to me. It's fun. It's cool.
Say again.
Music is like podcasting.
Okay. Okay. Uh, Carlos, um, what are three things that you might, uh, three books that you might like to um, listen to or look at? I want to give you three books, but what are three books that you've heard about that you might want to read?
Well,
Have you
well,
read
I got.
Malcolm X? The
Oh, no.
autobiography of Malcolm X?
Oh, I haven't
Oh
read
yeah.
Malcolm X.
Okay. There's another book called Getting It Done. It's a book about not wasting time, being able to take care of things in a timely manner, and it increases your. It's by Andrew Durbin. It's called Getting It Done, and it really helps you focus on what things are important to you and focus on doing things in a timely manner. So that's a very good book. It's another book. You know, I have spiritual conversations. Jews, God, and History by Max Diamont is a very good book. Now, if you got somebody trying to talk to you about the Bible, I would suggest you read that book. You got somebody talking to you about religion, read that book. It gives you a background on Islam, Christianity, so many things. And it gives you not a indoctrination, it gives you a historical kind of context that you can look at. So it's so many different facets. Books which are not in, they are not, people don't read books as much anymore with the internet, but it's always good to go back and relax. That's a way to be able to relax and be able to um, kind of slow yourself down. I'm really trying to get my son to slow himself down and be able to read because he grew up in a time. I have a 26-year-old son, by the way. He grew up in a time where everything was much faster and it's really messed his mind, his metabolism, his DNA up. So he needs to learn to slow down. And I'm still trying to work with him with that. Well, guys, I appreciate it. Say your final statement, Carlos. Krishna had a chance to say his. Say your final statement.
Oh, yes, sir. I just want to say, like, thank you for having us. And my final statement is that I'll admit that I definitely done some things that I'm not proud of and that caused like a lot of guilt and shame. But I'll say that the biggest thing that helped me though was to repent, be honest with myself, like, own it, hold myself accountable, and and change though for and change for the better though, because I learned from a friend of mine who's a coach though that, hey, it's good to connect with a therapist to help us heal from the past, and now I gotta connect with a life coach to prepare for success in the future or what's not. Because when it comes to guilt and shame, it can turn into one of three things: the hero, the villain, or the victim. I don't want to be the victim because shoot, I get tired of feeling sorry for myself. And I don't want to be the villain because I don't want to be, be cancer. Shoot, I don't even want to be toxic. So I decided, you know what? I'm not proud of my past, but when it comes down to my future, I'm gonna choose to be, the hero, like Spider-Man or Captain America or even a Batman.
So, how are you? Have you connected with like any other writers or agents or anything to be able to talk to them about producing your work, selling your work, anything like that? Have you done that yet?
Oh yes, sir. I'm connected with one or two, and I even got a connection though that said that she can connect me like with other agencies or things like that. So I'm looking into to that and making connections because from that book though, like I want to connect it with the bully recovery platform and all types of products or what's not. Because I thought, hey, from the Neat Man book, if that can evolve into a movie, into other things, hey, why not?
I want you to look up a movie long time ago called Meteor Man. Meteor Man. It starred Robert Townsend Jr. and Bill Cosby was in it. Meteor Man, something like what you're talking about, except for um, the animal, where he getting his powers from is totally different than then what he does with his powers. But as far as being bullied and then overcoming that, that's right on the line with Meteor Man. All right, guys. I don't want to keep you. I thank you
Yeah.
very much. And hey, we're gonna keep on in the group and try to grow and develop. And I appreciate y'all.
Thank
Any
you.
last words?
I got a story in my book, within my book, a book within the book, and it's called Beanie Cap Man. It's like hats with superpowers, and it's given like a certain period of time in my life where I'm giving emotions to hats. So it reminds me of those times like when I traveled to New York. It Each hat meant something. Like I got a hat from New York, Texas, Louisiana. Like I got some LSU hats, and it's called Beanie Cap Man, hats with superpowers.
Sound like Peacemaker. You ever seen that?
No,
It's a
I
new
gotta
show
watch
on
TV.
TV. Each one of his hats has superpowers.
Wow.
Peacemaker. Yes. Peacemaker. It comes on right now. Yeah. Imagination is what carries you guys. Never lose your imagination. Develop your imagination, write it down, try to grow it even within yourself. Keep your imagination, and only if only you understand, that's okay. If only you understand, that's all right. Be true to yourself. All right, guys. I'm gonna
See.
talk to you later. I appreciate it. We're gonna shut it down.